Hey YouTube, Doug Wallman. So I'm back once again with a follow-up video to the prior one, which was about do you add room microphones or boom microphones to your main microphone? Do you add a couple room microphones in the mix, yay or nay? I think I got things a little bit better. I'm going to turn down this microphone. So this one, if I want more of a room mix, then this one's going to be supplemental. Let me turn it up just momentarily. So right now it's like minus 17 dB. Let's turn it up quite a bit more, like it's roughly minus 5 in there. It is minus 5 actually. So let's turn it down again. I do kind of like that. I don't know if it's a very good idea. This is very non-conventional, I think. It's not like I'm some engineer, but I'd like to try something like this, of course. And speaking of non-conventional people, who have I been listening to? Not that one. Let's just go to YouTube. Oh yeah, it's not like Sylvia Massey. I didn't know who she even was, but she talks about non-conventional or unconventional recording methods. I'm not even close to that. I just have pretty standard stuff, but I do try some different things. I think I got it dialed in a little better. What do you think? It still has a little. Let's turn it all the way down so we just have the room mics. How does that sound? I had to turn these down a little bit. Let's turn them back up just a little bit more. But that focus right can get pretty noisy. You hear that? So just making sure my fridge and stuff is off. I don't know if it would make any difference if I close the door. Test 1, 2. We'll turn the main mic back up a little bit to around minus 13. Roughly minus 14 dB. Somewhere in there. I don't know. How do you like that sound? It's still... Let's turn it down some more. Test 1, 2. So this one's totally just supplementing. I have to get right up in there. And it's distorting if I get up that close. Ironically, test 1, 2. It shouldn't. Test 1, 2. Test 1, 2. It shouldn't distort, should it? Test 1. Test 1. Because I'm looking at the meter and it's not like it's in the red. The red there is just the compressor. The compressor. Test 1, 2. So I could talk way back here. More room ambience if I wanted to say something a little more intimate and wanted to say, hey, I got a secret to tell you. It'd be right up in there. I don't know. I got a secret. And then the rest is more room ambience, somewhat. I mean, it's not super far away or super close. It's kind of a medium distance, I guess. I mean, I could get it much closer to me, but I could get it much farther too. Just wondering what content I can even pull at this point. I can come up with whatever, but it'd be hard to shift gears with some of the other content. I mean, I've covered everything from ice cream, apple pie, to Psalm 15. So I don't know. And Psalm 23 and watermelon, not watermelon, but the plant. I can't think of what it's called. Watermelon peperomia plant to the dumb cane plant to a polka dot plant to my garden outside. I've had all kinds of topics, and I don't really want to pick a niche too much. To ASMR. I've done ASMR as well, which this would be kind of that, except I'm not going to reach all the way up there. There's some really great artists. I was listening to a little bit of that today. Well, really, no further ado. I was just kind of checking in and seeing how this sounded. Because there's no greater critique than when I actually post it, not just privately, but publicly, and just put it out there and see what it sounds like. And if it's good, hopefully there's some listeners. Yeah, just very interesting, I find. I mean, it's not that big of a deal to, you just have to consider the phase relationship between the mics. And yes, I did this correlation meter. Of course, you'd have to have that turned on, right? Test 1, 2, test 1, 2. I don't think it's working with anything I have going on right now. Test 1, 2. I did have it working before. We have to arm the tracks, which, I don't know, that's kind of weird. Test 1, 2. Because now if I arm the tracks, they're probably doubled. Test 1, 2. Test 1, 2. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. Now, insofar as that goes, it's actually, I don't know why the correlation meter doesn't show up when it comes to that microphone. It doesn't even show up. I mean, you could have it done. I think the correlation meter is just for the stereo out. It might be because this is done really weirdly through this audio MIDI setup. This is pretty strange, you gotta give it that. So this microphone is connected using the voice channel, and I'm actually using the USB of that. It's almost like an audio interface, and it basically is. So I don't know how there's two ends, but there's two channels, but they're identical. And those would be color-coded like this, right? Or no, it would be this one. Because this is in, so it has to be this color. So 11 and 12, and I'm on 11. But yet, does that show up over here? It does show up on the focus, right? Sort of. I'm not sure how that works, because that definitely shows up. I don't know if this is literally just picking it up from a distance. I think it probably is. The line outputs 3 and 4. This all gets pretty complex. It probably would be easier just to get, once again though, I am getting, well, I mentioned this in a prior video that didn't upload. I am getting the Black Lion audio interface, but that only has 2 channels, but they have another piece of hardware where you can connect to it, and it has like a bunch more channels, but that's pretty spendy. I don't know, as long as I can aggregate these devices, I have all I need. I think sometimes this can get kind of funky, and I noticed suddenly my numbers were different. You have to be careful, just keep an eye out. These get assigned to channels, and I noticed that was different one time when I did something funky. All I have to do is unplug something and plug it back in. It may or may not keep. I'm not entirely sure, don't quote me. Just something to look out for if you're into all this aggregate and finding maybe a more economical way to make a bunch of stuff work without a real mixer on board. You're just using your DAW for a mixer, essentially. Test 1, 2. If I want these others to show up, I can multi-select them. I don't know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I don't understand, really. Test. I don't understand. They're multi-selected. This one is working. Say they're both working, but only one gets a signal. I don't know. It's all very weird to me. But if I go on this one by itself, then it does have a signal. Go figure. Test 1, 2. Test 1, 2. Anyway, I think you've heard enough of me ramble on about what I sort of understand and sort of don't understand, but yet getting it all to work. I mean, it works pretty good. Should I turn down this main microphone a little bit more so we have a little bit more of the room? If I was moving around, you should be able to hear that. Test 1, 2. I was trying to use the rain stick before, but it's kind of hard to control that. I have done it. Usually it's some other effect I need to add to it. And then in that case, I'd probably want to turn this main microphone off. I guess we'll do a quick ASMR session. Is this one still working? No, it shouldn't be. Although it shows there, but I just turned it all the way down. I could have muted it too. Could go farther away. These could be spread out maybe. Well, they're kind of focused in on me. But I could have them angled outwards too. That was just your quick ASMR. That wasn't even that great. But yeah, if you did the right effects. I included the rain stick in one of my soaking videos. I didn't really make mention of it, but it sounded pretty good. I don't know what I did anymore, but it got a little crackly for some reason, but I worked with it, and I don't know if there was something wrong with one of my microphone cables, but it sounded really crackly, but in a sense it was kind of cool if I applied the right effects to it. Anyhow, I better let you guys go. Thanks for watching me just kind of ramble on. Kind of a microphone test, but I needed to talk about something. I do look forward to checking out the Black Lion. I think if I have the right model, I think it also can act as a standalone device. You don't even have to hook it up to your computer. Or am I thinking of their other model? I don't know. I'll find out when I get it. It's supposed to have some really high quality components in it to make your audio better. Supposedly it's more based on what it actually sounds like, and in fact, if I understand right, it may actually not look so great on paper, but it sounds great to the ears. So yeah, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I should be getting that device pretty soon. I have so much equipment now, I can't compare everything, but I might do a little comparison, maybe with 1 or 2 microphones. We'll see. For sure, it should make something like this Nord Electro sound better. I mean, I actually was notified about the Black Lion through someone making a comment of how much more wide open my Nord Electro would sound if I wasn't using that Focusrite. But I don't mind the Focusrite. I don't know it any different really. And plus I have the Behringer Euphoria. Before that, I had what was it called? It's in the drawer back there. It has a Firebox. What was that called? Just a little 2-channel interface. I think it actually is 4-channel because we had 2 channels in the back that were passive. Kind of like the Focusrite. That's the same thing. I think there's a couple. Well, I actually do use those using one of these other preamps. What was that one called? It's a popular name, and I can't even think. Presonus. Yeah, Presonus Firebox. That uses firewire. So, and I replaced caps in that to extend its life, and I think it got to be pretty noisy in the end, and I kept using it. But finally, I had to make a new purchase, and my purchase when that pretty much died was I'm looking at the box over there in the corner. It's the Behringer Euphoria UMC 404HD. It's people think Behringer is kind of crappy equipment, but actually some of their stuff is pretty good for the price. I thought it sounded pretty good. And my church uses they just changed their in-ear monitors to some Behringer brand of in-ear monitors where you can control your own mix, and we're just getting adjusted to it. But yeah, it sounded pretty good. But no, I'm looking forward to the Black Lion, and we'll just aggregate all the devices together until maybe someday I'll have a wider array of channels to choose from. And I do know that the Behringer does make a larger model of the Euphoria. I don't know if they're actively making it, but they might be. I've seen it on like YouTube. I've seen it on eBay. The only thing I don't like about that is you have to kind of choose between mono and like your channels being left, right, left, right, left, right as you insert them. I think you can control that with your DAW. You can do that too. Then you're choosing between hardware and software. I guess that's fine. Any hoosers. Like for the third, fourth time, I'm just rambling on about the very little bit I do know about audio. What else do I know? If there's problems with phase, you can use this gain to phase invert stuff. Test 1, 2. We're not going to really tell with that. There's a stereo version of this gain. I do believe that would have to be down here. See I don't know. I thought there was. I know if you have a stereo channel, it'll recognize it, and you can choose to invert the whole thing. So like, I don't know for sure yet, but I may have to invert my left and right up here so that the camera would recognize this as left. Right now I am hearing that. I swear this keeps on changing. I'm so confused because before I had it set up so this was matching my ears so that the right here, which would be your left, was still my right. I keep messing with stuff, but every time I mess with it, it seems to go back. But it doesn't matter because I can change it in post-production. It's probably because I kept looking here at the audio MIDI to make sure, or the audio devices to make sure my channels were matching, and I probably switched it around. That may be it. There's a lot going on here, but I better let you go. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And how did it sound? We'll see you in the next video. I think this does sound better than my prior video. I'll give it that. It does sound a little better. And actually, I had this one all the way down, actually. So I better turn it back up. Now we're back, and now that correlation meter is showing up a little bit. I noticed it showed up for a second. But yeah, it'll only show up if I have like an active monitor. But we can't have that when I'm trying to use this as a mixer, because then it'll double up and there'll be even worse phase issues. Alright, thanks for watching.